Hey y'all, my son is back there being silly. So this is Emma Sarah here, and I wanted to come to y'all today and do a quick video for you guys because I know there's a lot of mamas out there who deal with fussy babies or babies who have colic, and I had somebody just sorry, I'm on a stool here. Let me try to. I have to hold my phone here because my charger is having an issue, so I have to hold this in my hand. So here's my little chubbikins. He's very healthy. Anyway, what I wanted to say is I had a mama contact me today. Needs some help with a fussy baby who has colic, and I did have a situation with one of the kids this week. Do you have a question? Go ahead. They want to know if he's going to make noise. Oh my goodness, that boy. Do you know how many times we tell him not to slam the door, especially when the baby's sleeping? Anyway, what I wanted to tell you all was that when your baby is fussy, you know, some babies are fussier than others, okay? That is just a fact of life. Unfortunately, it's just how it goes. So, if you have a fussy baby, or I should say if you know somebody that has a fussy baby, or just a baby in general, because my baby actually is a very good baby. I would consider him an angel baby, and he's a very, very just content little guy. But I know that there's mamas out there who have babies who are not. So I don't know. I've had some before. I've had some babies who weren't so content, and I had one baby that was really borderline colic. Hey, Laura. So if you know anybody, any mama who needs this video, go ahead and make sure you tag them right now so they can join us live, so they'll be able to answer questions or ask questions. So I'll just tell you about the situation that I had this week with my little guy. He was one of the kids noticed. Hey, Amy and Grandma Susie's on. So the girls noticed that he was sleeping in the living room. I was in the back room. The kids were with him, and he woke up from sleeping, and he was really startled, and he was really scared, and he started screaming, and he doesn't really cry with that much force, so I knew something was really wrong, so I ran out there to check on him. But he was scared because he had a lot of thick mucus in his throat, and when he went to swallow, you could tell he was like gagging, like he felt like he couldn't breathe. And hi, Tiffany. So I'm giving some baby tips today, mama baby parenting tips. So anyway, I picked him up right away, and to try to assess the situation, I took him in the back room and laid him down, made sure he was okay, and it was clear to me that he was having a lot of mucus in his. Well, it wasn't mucus; it was saliva. It wasn't. It was just very thick saliva. I'm trying to think of how I can word that to you. Anyway, it was just really thick. It wasn't very watery. It was more viscous, like you can actually feel it. Almost felt like, if a baby slobbers, it's like really more like watery. But this one was kind of thick and almost a little bit stretchy. So anyway, I knew that we needed to get some water down him because I wanted to dilute whatever was in his system to get his saliva more fluid so that he could feel more comfortable while he was swallowing. Anyway, so I want to tell you how I handled the situation, because when you have a baby, whether he's a newborn or he's 12 months or he's 3 months, when a baby feels like they're startled and they can't breathe because they can't swallow or whatever, then it can be very scary for a baby. And for some mamas, if you don't know what to do, one of the worst things is when you're a parent and you don't feel like you are qualified to care for your children's needs. It's one of the most debilitating feelings a mama can feel, and so that's why I love to come on here and share all my tips for parenting with you all, because I'm into empowering you to feel confident in your parenting journey. So anyway, what I did is I had the girls get him a bottle of water, and we gave him the dosage for, it's called baby gripe water. If I had the box here I would show you, but I don't think I have one. I gave him some baby gripe water. I've been using it with my kids for years. It's organic, it's all natural, there's no junk in it. And so we gave him the dosage inside the bottle because it's focused on digestion. It has fennel in it and some other items that will help calm a baby's stomach. And although I didn't think he was specifically having gas at the time, I just wanted to cover all my bases, and I wanted the water to taste really good so that he would be interested in actually sucking it up. And so, and as I thought, I put it in his mouth, and he wasn't really interested in it. So until I squeezed it out in his mouth, and he could taste the baby gripe water, which is kind of sweet because fennel is a little bit sweet. But never give your babies, if you're an oiler out there, never give your babies essential oils internally. Don't ever do that. They're very strong, and I use the baby gripe water in case you're coming on late that already has the fennel in it. So, hey, Candy. So anyway, I gave him that, and I was concerned about, so what happened was I was kind of thinking, like, what did I have today that would cause his mucus to get so thick? And I thought maybe he was having an issue with me drinking dairy. So I did cut it out of my diet here recently, and I had a decaf, and I had some 2% milk, and I had some heavy cream. And so right away I knew that it was probably the heavy cream, the casein. Can you go ahead and take him? I don't want to drop him. I only have one hand here to work with. Just 1 second. We're going to do a switch here. Hopefully my belly's not showing here. Okay. All right, there baby goes to a sissy. Ooh, okay, so anyway, I gave him the baby gripe water. I gave him, so that's what I was going to say. So I had dairy that day. So, and I just actually recently had more dairy with some more creamer, or heavy, it wasn't creamer, it was heavy cream, like maybe 15 minutes before this happened. So I was concerned, like, if I started to nurse him, that he was going to get more. Hey, Liz, I know you have a baby. This is baby tips today. So I was concerned that he was going to get even more thick saliva. I was afraid that it was going to make the situation worse. So I didn't necessarily want to nurse him at the time, even though I know he needed comfort. I really wanted to make sure that I was diluting that thick mucusy saliva that was in his mouth. And when I say mucus, like I said, it wasn't like green mucus. It was clear and just very thick saliva. It was almost viscous and kind of thick and cream, like not creamy, but just, it was clear, but it was viscous. And anyway, right away I just went into my health coach mode, and what would I do, my nutrition and all this stuff. And I went and had the girls give me digestive enzymes, and I'm not sure if digestive enzymes will pass through my breast milk or not, but just on the chance that it would, I went ahead and I took a double dose of enzymes. And then I actually, Tiffany says that Chloe would throw up when I drank milk and breastfed, so it's really common. And a lot of mamas who are first-time mamas, they are not told this information, and so they go to the doctor, and maybe they give them babies like acid reflux medicine, or things happen. They don't get the whole story a lot of times, so that's why we do these videos. So anyway, this is going to be really short here. I'll be wrapping it up in just 1 second. And if you have any questions or comment, please make sure you put them below. And don't forget to tag a friend so they can join the conversation right now. If you know a mama with the baby, this is for her. So anyway, what to do. Don't panic when your baby, the number one rule is for a mama is when your baby is panicking, do not panic, because a panicking baby and a panicking mama is a bad recipe, because babies can really sense when a mama doesn't feel in control or when she feels scared. And so the best thing for a baby is to remain calm, so that they can be calm, because you don't want to get them into a state of hyperventilation or whatever, because he was pretty scared and crying hard. So anyway, I went ahead and I made sure to get a lot of water down him, put the baby gas drops, I put the probiotics, I don't know if I mentioned that already, I put a scoop of baby probiotics in his bottle, I took two digestive enzymes, and then I actually chewed on a lactase enzyme, so that I could really get it down in my system right away, hoping that maybe that would, when it was time to nurse, it would digest the milk that was in my system, so that he wouldn't get so much protein. Now, if you don't know what the problem is with milk, is a lot of babies are lactose intolerant, and some babies have a problem with the protein, which is casein that's in milk. And in some cases, it's not like they have a specific allergy, or I wouldn't say they had. In some cases, they don't have an allergy. Because I know there's some parents out there who are going to get all paranoid and think, "Oh, my kid will never be able to drink dairy." And that's not the case. It's very common for babies within like the first 18 months not to be able to tolerate dairy very well, because their digestive systems are not fully mature yet. So that's common, so don't get concerned if your baby is having problems with dairy. If your baby has colic, which I did have a baby in 2012 that was borderline colic. And he, I believe he had a lot of issues because at 8 days old he was hospitalized. He was airlifted. He got a sickness. I was sick just before I had him, unfortunately, and he ended up getting it, and he got sick. So anyway, they pumped him full of antibiotics. And if you have a baby who's ever had RSV or any type of sickness that necessitated antibiotics, then if your baby's having digestive problems, most likely it was probably the high dosage of antibiotics or just the dosage in general. Babies have a very immature digestive system, and the antibiotics can really wreak havoc on the digestive system. So I highly recommend that you add probiotics to their diet. And if you want to know if it's safe, while my baby was in the NICU, I did ask the nurses there if they would give him probiotics, and they said yes, that it was common. And they brought me some, and I asked them what brand and everything, so I wanted to see, because I can share that with you all, and so I could give it to the baby when we got home. I used Primadophilus probiotics, and it was like a little capsule. You just open it up, and you would just use like a half a capsule mixed with breast milk or water, whatever it is. But anyway, if your baby is fussy or does projectile vomiting, it most likely is something that you're eating. And I'm not sure, always take your baby to the doctor if you have questions or concern. I should say that I am a health educator. I am not here to diagnose or treat. I'm just here to make some educational suggestions to you all. So I know there's a lot of mamas out there who have a lot of sleepless nights because they have babies with digestive issues or they have babies with colic. And it's really important, if you have a baby and you're struggling, and I'm sure you've gotten a ton of advice, this is just another piece of advice for whatever it's worth. I highly suggest that you do an elimination diet, and that is when you eliminate top offending foods like wheat, dairy, tomatoes. You might think that's strange. Oranges, which is citrus fruit. So tomatoes have acid. The cruciferous family, which is like broccoli, cauliflower, legumes like beans. I'm telling you, you're like, wow, that's a lot of stuff, but it's like nothing to me. I lived my whole life like hardly eating any food because I had so many allergies. I'm free now. I can eat whatever I want, except my baby is having, had that one issue. So if you are watching for the first time, put a number 1 below so I know who's on right now. And if you're here watching the replay, go ahead and put a number 2, put a heart. And remember, you can ask questions anytime, or if you have a situation or you have information to share with us, let me know. Tiffany said onions, and onions, yes. So onions are, you wouldn't even think about onions causing an issue. Some babies can't tolerate when a parent eats or mama eats hot sauce, spicy food. So whatever it is that you're eating, just really whittle it down to like meat, protein, clean protein, peanut butter, avocado. So I don't want you all to starve to think like, how am I going to get my calories? Oh, it says it's not charging 2%. I'm going to have to be wrapping this up because my charger is not working. Okay, so anyway, hey Liz. So what else did I want to say about that? So with all that said, so what then you would do before I die, if it dies, I'm sorry, I hope it will get on here, is keep a journal and keep a calendar. The first thing I would do is keep a calendar. Every time your baby has a problem, mark it on your calendar and mark what you ate. And if you do the rotation or the elimination diet, then keep a journal of everything that you took out, and then wait at least 7 days, at least 7 days. I mean, at a minimum 4, not 4, 5 would be the very least, but you really, to be safe, if you're really desperate and you really want your baby to be well, I would wait at least 7 days. So I'm trying to get my phone not to die here. It's not working. Come on. So I would wait that, and then what you do is, as you have your list of everything that you've taken back, go ahead and add one food at a time and wait at least, I would say, 24 to 48 hours before you reintroduce that one item again, and see if at a minimum 24 hours, and see if he has or she has any problems with crying, crankiness, or saliva. That saliva that's really thick in the mouth. And the last thing I want to say is how you will know your baby could possibly have a food intolerance or reaction or allergy is check their doo-doo, if it is green and frothy or stringy, those are all signs of possible food intolerance. So don't forget to tag a friend if you know anybody who's having baby belly issues or colic, or issues that they need help with digestion. Go ahead and just leave me tag them, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and put them below. And remember, you can always personal message me. And Tiffany says, even mild allergies make a huge difference. Yes, and Tiffany, also, the lab I like to use is Meridian Valley Lab. And if you look at the site, you can check it out, and then you can get back to me. And if you have any questions on what to do with the lab, let me know. It's one of the better labs that I like. It's affordable. I think they test about 80 foods for older children. My kids were sick with severe food intolerance, severe headaches, hives, rashes, you name it. It was going on in our household, but we are healed from severe food intolerance and allergies. So I'm not concerned about the baby. I'm not, stressing out about it, because a lot of babies, like I think I mentioned earlier, will have just necessity to have a more mature digestive system, and then they grow out of it. So anyway, this is Emma Sarah. You can find me at emmasarah.com, Emma Sarah McMillian on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, go ahead and comment if you have any questions or concern. Have a good